Have you ever had that thought that maybe your own success could be the thing that breaks your business? It sounds kind of weird, right? But if you run a website, you know it's a very real fear. Today, we're going to dive into some new tech that claims it can make one of the biggest of those fears, the server crash, a thing of the past. Let's see if it holds up.
Okay, so just picture this for a second. You've worked for months, maybe even years, on a new product or a massive sale. You hit the launch button and boom, it's a huge success. Your ads are hitting, social media is absolutely buzzing, and thousands of customers are flooding your site. I mean, this is the dream, right?
And then, the nightmare. Your website, completely overwhelmed by its own success, just gives up. It crashes. And in that moment, every single second it's down, you're not just losing sales, you're losing customer trust. You're losing all that incredible marketing momentum. The cost isn't some abstract number. It is very, very real. So why does this keep happening? Well, for years, traditional hosting has basically forced business owners into this really expensive, no-win situation. Let's break down the old, painful way of fixing things. The first thing you do when your site crashes is, panic. The second thing you do is call an expert. And that expert, whether it's a developer or a sysadmin, they often charge upwards of $150 an hour just to start digging through complex server logs to figure out what even went wrong. The clock is literally ticking in dollars and cents. And this really gets to the heart of the problem. You've always had two pretty bad choices. Option one, you over-provision. This means you pay for a giant expensive server all year long. Just for those few moments, you might get a huge traffic spike, like on Black Friday. Most of the year, you're just burning cash on power you don't even use. Option two, you under-provision to save a little money, and you just keep your fingers crossed that you don't go viral. Because if you do, your site is toast. Neither of those is a great way to run a business, is it? But what if you didn't have to make that choice at all? This is where some really cool new technology steps in. So part one of the solution is something called Cloudways Autonomous, and it tackles that traffic spike problem head on. So the magic words right here are automatically scales. Instead of having one single rigid server, Autonomous uses this super flexible technology called Kubernetes. Think of it less like a building with a fixed number of rooms and more like a structure that can instantly build brand new rooms the second more people show up. And this shows exactly how it works in practice. And the analogy's perfect. A huge traffic spike hits your site. Instantly, the system just opens up more checkout lanes to handle everybody without a single slowdown. Then, once the rush is over and traffic goes back to normal, those extra lanes, they just close down automatically. The best part? You only paid for them for the exact minutes you actually needed them. No waste, and, more importantly, no crash. Okay, so handling traffic is a huge deal. But let's be honest, it's only one reason a site goes down. What about those other mysterious, super cryptic errors? Well, that brings us to part two of the solution, an AI server detective. This is the other nightmare scenario, right? You check your site, and all you see is this, a 500 internal server error. It tells you absolutely nothing. Is it a bad plugin? A database query that went haywire? A bot attack? You have no idea. And once again, you're losing money while someone, somewhere, is trying to figure it out. This is where the AI, called Cloudways Copilot, comes into play. And this timeline, this is really the key. The old way, a human expert takes on average about 45 minutes of just digging through logs to find the root cause. The AI, on the other hand, can analyze everything and pinpoint the exact issue, like a specific bad line of code or a bot attack, in under 10 minutes. I mean, just look at that difference. This chart puts it in really stark terms. We're not talking about a tiny improvement here. The AI is diagnosing the problem more than 4 times faster than a human expert can. In a situation where every single minute is costing you sales, that is a massive, massive advantage. And this isn't just some theory, Here's a quote from a real agency owner, Blake Whittle. He's confirming that this tech directly translates into spending way less time and money on server maintenance and more time actually running the business. That's the real-world impact we're talking about. So, we've looked at two really powerful tools. Now let's connect the dots and see what this all means for your business's bottom line.
This table just sums it all up perfectly. For every major problem that traditionally costs you a ton of money, there's now a specific AI-powered solution. The risk of lost sales from a traffic crash, that's handled by autonomous autoscaling. Those $150 an hour developer fees for mysterious errors, they get slashed by Copilot's instant diagnostics. And all that wasted money on server capacity you're not even using, that's gone thanks to a pay-for-use model. It's a completely fundamental shift in how we think about the economics of running a website.
Now, this is a huge step forward for sure, but it's really just the beginning. So what's next? Well, the future of hosting is all about automation. The plan for the near future is to have an AI that doesn't just tap you on the shoulder and tell you what's wrong. We're talking about an AI that finds the problem, knows the solution, and then automatically executes the fix, all without any human needing to get involved. It's basically an automated system administrator working for you 24/7.
And that kind of leaves us with this final thought to chew on. As this technology gets more and more common, the question is going to change from how much server space do I need to how smart is my hosting? Because if your platform isn't actively working to prevent crashes and solve problems all on its own, is it really helping your business or is it just holding you back?